old times in the Middle Ages, all the towns and villages were encircled and protected by walls. That was very important for the security reasons, obviously. But also for other purposes that were built for different purposes. But mostly because, people had to be protected by walls against the intruders, enemies, rivalries, wars, battles, anyway. So the walls were very important in case of attacks. Pisa especially, this town, in near the year 1000 after Christ, was a very, very powerful town. He had a mighty fleet. Obviously the peasants were soldiers. They were very aggressive. The province of Pisa, for example, is very big. It stretches for kilometers and kilometers because the town was very aggressive. And the enemy of Pisa was Genova, which is only 160 kilometers from here. So they were very enemies. They wanted the supremacy on the Mediterranean Sea, both the Pisans and... So Corsica, for example, at the beginning was an island belonging to Pisa. Then it's been sold to Genova, and only 1 or 2 years before Napoleon was born, it was stolen by the French, or was given back to the French, if we want to use that aphorism. But anyway, so Pisa had several enemies, and one of those at a certain point was Firenze. So Firenze was also a very aggressive town before the Medici arrived in power, and there were wars and battles. So the walls were absolutely important to the town. Same thing in Firenze. When we arrive in Firenze, we will see some of the original walls, only little stretches because they've been knocked down. This is the outside of the square, Piazza dei Miracoli, the Miracle Square is called, and you have some souvenirs vendors. Those vendors, only a few years ago, were inside the square, but they've been moved outside because obviously they don't belong to the original square, and so they had to leave because the Archbishop didn't want them inside. Archbishop of Pisa is, I think, the most powerful person, the most powerful figure, has always been. So what the Archbishop says is of the first stretch that we saw entering. Similar, but they've been remanaged several times during the centuries. Imagine that the first block of marble, the first slab of marble in the cathedral was laid in 1064 or 63, it depends on the history, but it was 64, 1064. Soon after, they had to build the walls to protect all the beautiful buildings inside. There are 4 monuments: the church, the baptistery, the cemetery, and the bell tower. What we call Leaning Tower is, in reality, is a bell tower. It was built only to host the 7 bells, 7 like the notes, 7 like the days, the 7 bells of the tower. Back in time. Take a look on the right.
Oh, really?
Is there? No room. No parking. Back in time, obviously, they didn't have watches, they didn't have internet. So the only way to administrate the hours of the day was by, towing the bells. This is the entire palace belonging to the Archbishop.
El arzobispo es la persona que más gobierna aquí.
I'm staying here because there are too many bells.
Llegamos a Pisa, ese es el palacio del arzobispo, dice que es la persona que más manda aquí. Mírala allí, la torre, ya hay gente de arriba. Vamos a conocer este famoso lugar. Y este es el lugar que todo el mundo viene a ver. Mira la Torre de Pisa ahí mismo.
Hay que buscar un punto que uno la mire que está inclinada.
Sí, porque ahí se ve derecha. Es que está inclinada por aquel lado.
Sí, es para acá. Hay que ponerse como por allá, mira.
Sí.
O por acá. Uno a los dos lados.
Y aquí está todo el mundo aguantando la Torre de Pisa. Y aquí todo el mundo aguanta. Mira ya qué lindo ese edificio allá. Y acá. Nelson se me pierde, pero lo encuentro fácil. Ay, mira ahí qué linda. De frente. ¿Qué tal? Ya vimos lo que teníamos que ver. Mira qué linda ahí, mira. Nelson, la torre. ¿Y ya tú tienes hambre?
¿Y ahora comes una pizza ya?
No quiero pizza, pero bueno, son las 10 y pico. Lindo, mira qué lindo, mira qué lindo, mira qué lindo el capuchino de Nelson Diegues. Y el mío. Bueno, se acabó el paseíto por aquí, por Pisa. Era chiquito esto aquí. Es nada más darle la vuelta ahí, eso, pienso, ¿no?
Sí, ya no hay más nada aquí ya.
Y después mirar eso, ya nos vamos. Pero vamos a Florencia. Ella dice Firenze, pero es lo mismo. Salimos de Pisa y vamos a Florencia ahora. Más de una hora de viaje.
Piazzale Michelangelo, which is the Belvedere, or if it's too busy, we can pick a different corner, a different Belvedere, which is the one that I love. and it's in front of Basilica. Unfortunately, this basilica is under renovation. They are restyling and they are consolidating all the structure of the basilica in case of earthquakes. So when I can, I take my tourists to that beautiful basilica because it's really overwhelming, but it's covered with scaffolds, so we don't see much. But if I see that there are problems for the Piazza Michelangelo, we go to up to the basilica. Today is the red lights day. This is some of the walls, little stretch of walls still standing, belonging to the town of Firenze. I didn't tell you that Firenze was the capital of our United Kingdom of Italy for 5 years, when Roma was still under the control of the Pope. We became a United Kingdom in 1861, physically and on the paper, 1861. But still Roma was controlled, not only Roma, but also the central area of Italy was in the control of the Pope, that obviously didn't want to give Roma and all the possessions to the new kingdom. And so the Pope decided to fight physically with his French troops against the Garibaldi troop, which is Garibaldi is our hero. Is the guy, is the man, the general who achieved to unify all the little kingdoms, city-states, independent republics under one king. So Firenze, for 5 years, was picked as capital instead of Roma. And so the town wanted to be, more like a European town, like Paris, for example, like Vienna, open. And because the walls were very, very old-fashioned, ugly, not fashionable anymore, so the architect who was in charge of embellishing the town decided to knock them down. This is modern art. This is represents a woman with a burden. It has a meaning. The women must carry the burdens of the planet, not the earth, but the planet. That's the meaning. I know the men don't agree, but it's okay. It's okay. So this is the area where the famous architect had to, work and build some of the beautiful villas that we still see nowadays. Were built during those 5-10 years in the late 1800s. So all the ambassadors coming from all over the world came to Firenze, and they used to live in this area. Some afterwards, when Rome became our capital, finally all the ambassadors and the staff went all the way to Rome. So those beautiful buildings were bought by the wealthy families of Firenze, or Europe as well. For example, this one used to be the residence of an Austrian guy, the one on the left. Now they are they've been turned into Airbnbs or hotels or residential houses, what we call residential touristy houses.
Tan bonito. Tiene la ciudad de Florencia. Bueno, desde aquí se puede ver toda la ciudad de Florencia. Mira qué lindo es. Pero ahora vamos a ir personalmente a visitar muchos de esos lugares. Está bien lindo desde aquí. ¿Ah? Y aquí hay un mapa que vienen todos los lugares importantes. Todo esto para mirar. ¿Y qué? Yo quería alcanzarlo, pero ¿qué va? No puedo, me quedé atrás. Rápido, rápido. Ay. No, desde aquí no, allá. No da tiempo. Mira aquí, qué lindo se ve desde acá arriba. Se ve hasta más lindo. Corre, 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 corre. Bueno, allá está una réplica de la estatua, pero de bronce.
Firenze doesn't have many fountains. It's not like Rome. Rome is, mamma mia, there are tons and tons of fountains everywhere. In Firenze, no, because first of all, the sources of water are not very numerous like down in Rome. And second, because we didn't have those greedy popes wanting to show their power like in Rome. Families, the wealthy families like the Medici, the Bardi, Peruzzi, Pazzi, they wanted to show their money and their power, but building houses, not fountains. So this is the other side of the fountain that finishes down, down, down. So that's basically the only fountain that you can see. And those are the old ones. Did you notice from the Belvedere? Did you notice a little stretch of walls on the left? So those are the walls that we are seeing right now, going up, and this going up to the fortress. That's a fortress built by the Medici family behind the Medici Palace. Beautiful gardens. So Firenze, unfortunately, you have only a few hours, but Firenze has really a lot to do. So this is San Nicolò. It's a very vibrant quarter of Firenze. And this is a big group. Imagine that back in time, the town didn't even have sidewalks. So they've been built afterwards. And thanks God we have them, otherwise it would be a mess, a chaos with the people walking in the middle of the street. And this is the Lungarno, so along the river, it means. So you can see the cupola, the dome. That's the cathedral, or what we call it Duomo. And that's Ponte Vecchio. Not this bridge, but the bridge covered by a corridor. That's the famous Ponte Vecchio. On Puerto Vecchio, you'll find only jewelry shops. A lot of jewelry. Bicycles. Firenze is upside down in this moment. There are many little streets closed to the traffic. I don't know what they are doing. The mayor of this town got crazy. She went crazy, really. She authorized any kind of working, and so the town is really chaos. The door. This is a library now, but it used to be a convent. No, signore, ma... Oh, io ho fatto almeno la macchina. Mamma mia. 2 centimeters. And this is the Giotto bell tower. Giotto, it takes the name from Giotto, the painter architect, but not only Giotto worked on that tower, many others, because everything that you see around in Pisa, Firenze, Siena, in Tuscany, took centuries to be finished. So the first architect never ever saw the work. But not even half of it.